Every year, Americans spend over $3 billion on pellet smokers. 90% of those buyers will replace their unit within 4 years. Not because they cook too much, because the industry built a system where the brands with the biggest marketing budgets sell the worst products, and the buyers who never research end up funding it. 10 brands are counting on your ignorance. Here is every single one of them. Number 10. Z Grills. Z Grills entered the American market in 2017 with one strategy: copy the Traeger design, cut the price in half, and flood Amazon with 5-star reviews before anyone noticed the difference in materials. The firebox on a Z Grills unit is 20-gauge steel. Traeger uses 18-gauge. Neither is adequate for long-term use, but Z Grills starts thinner and goes downhill faster. The porcelain coating on the cook chamber is spray applied at low temperature. It begins chipping at the seams within the first season. The temperature controller is a generic PID unit sourced from a third-party manufacturer in Shenzhen. On paper, it holds temperature within 15 degrees. In practice, on a cold morning with a full hopper, the variance runs 30 to 40 degrees. A brisket set at 225 degrees finishes at 265. The bark is wrong. The collagen has not broken down correctly. The cook failed, and the controller passed. Z Grills spends more on Amazon advertising than on engineering. The reviews are real. Customers wrote them after one cook. The failure comes at the 25th cook. Number 9. Masterbuilt sells the idea of electric smoking to buyers who want results without the learning curve of managing fire and airflow. The idea is not wrong. The execution is. Masterbuilt electric smokers use a heating element rated to a specific wattage that cannot maintain the target temperature when the ambient temperature is below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. In most of America, that means the smoker underperforms for 4 months of the year. The manufacturer knows the operating temperature threshold. It appears in the manual in a font size calibrated to avoid being read. The wood chip loading system requires the buyer to add chips every 45 to 60 minutes through an external drawer. A 12-hour brisket cook requires manual intervention every hour through the night. The analog electric smoker your neighbor owns from 1987 operates on the same principle. Masterbuilt charges $350 for the same limitation and calls it a feature. The digital control panel fails in humidity. Customer forums document the same failure pattern across every model year since 2018. Masterbuilt's response is a replacement panel for $65. The replacement panel fails on the same timeline. Number 8. Camp Chef. Camp Chef built a strong reputation in the pellet grill market through the 2010s. The Woodwind series was genuinely well regarded by serious outdoor cooks. Independent reviewers praised the build quality and the ash cleanout system. Then Vista Outdoor acquired them. Vista Outdoor is a publicly traded conglomerate. Their other holdings include Federal Ammunition and Bushnell Optics. Camp Chef is one line item in a diversified portfolio managed for quarterly earnings. The engineering decisions that made the Woodwind worth buying were made by people whose careers depended on the product's reputation. The engineering decisions being made now are made by people whose bonuses depend on the margin. The post-acquisition Camp Chef units use thinner steel in the firebox. The ash cleanout system, the feature that separated Camp Chef from every competitor, was simplified in the 2024 model year to reduce manufacturing cost. The price went up. The build quality went down. The marketing copy stayed identical. Buying a Camp Chef in 2026 means paying 2019 prices for 2024 cost-cutting. The reputation being sold no longer matches the product being shipped. Number 7. Recteq markets directly to serious barbecue buyers. The stainless steel exterior, the precision temperature claims, and the premium price point all signal a product built for pitmasters who know the difference. The signal is manufactured. Recteq uses 304 grade stainless steel on the exterior panels. That is accurate, and it matters for appearance and for corrosion resistance on the outside of the unit. The cook chamber interior, the surface that matters for heat retention and longevity, is not stainless. The interior uses painted carbon steel. Carbon steel at cooking temperatures, with repeated moisture exposure from meat and humidity, begins oxidizing within 2 seasons, regardless of the paint coating applied over it. The temperature controller on Recteq units is proprietary branded hardware built around standard PID components. Recteq charges a premium for the branded controller that does not outperform the open market components inside it. Replacement controllers run $150. The components cost $40. The marketing targets buyers who have already been burned by cheap units and who are ready to spend more for quality. The product delivers a premium exterior over a standard interior and calls the combination professional grade. Number 6. Pit Boss is owned by Danson's, a Canadian holding company that also owns Louisiana Grills. 2 brands, 1 factory, 1 parts supply chain, 1 set of material decisions made by portfolio managers who have never run a 12-hour smoke. The pellet auger on most Pit Boss units under $600 is plastic. Heat cycling warps plastic. A warped auger jams. A jammed auger kills the fire mid-cook. The fix costs $40 in parts and 2 hours of disassembly on a unit the buyer purchased 3 months ago. The temperature controller drifts. A unit set at 225 degrees runs at 275 in warm weather and 190 in cold. The variance is not a malfunction. It is the designed performance envelope of a generic controller installed to a cost target. The warranty excludes the cooking grate, the firepot liner, and the drip tray as normal wear items. Those 3 components are the first to fail on every Pit Boss unit in every model year. The warranty was written around the failure map the engineering team produced before production started. Number 5. Louisiana Grills. Louisiana Grills is Pit Boss with a different logo. The same factory, the same auger, the same controller, the same firebox steel gauge, with a different color scheme and a slightly higher price point to imply a premium position above the Pit Boss line. Danson's built 2 brands to occupy 2 price shelves in the same retail channel. The buyer who pays $350 buys Pit Boss. The buyer who pays $450 buys Louisiana Grills. Both buyers are purchasing the same product. The $100 gap is a marketing decision, not an engineering one. Louisiana Grills runs advertising that emphasizes Southern barbecue heritage and authentic smoke flavor. The company is headquartered in Canada, and manufacturing is overseas. The Southern heritage is a story told to American buyers by a holding company that understands the emotional triggers in the market better than it understands the engineering requirements of a functional smoker. Number 4. Char-Broil smokers. Char-Broil is owned by W.C. Bradley, a private equity holding company based in Columbus, Georgia. Manufacturing is in China. The steel gauge on their smoker line is the thinnest in any category they compete in. Char-Broil entered the pellet smoker market because the margin structure attracted them, not because they had engineering expertise in the category. The pellet smoker line is a gas grill company's interpretation of a technology they did not develop and did not invest in understanding. The result is a pellet smoker with gas grill components adapted for pellet use. The firebox dimensions are wrong for efficient smoke circulation. The hopper capacity requires refilling every 3 to 4 hours on a long cook. The temperature probe is positioned for gas grill heat distribution, not pellet smoker convection patterns, and it reads consistently 15 to 20 degrees below the actual cooking temperature at grate level. Char-Broil discontinues parts on a timeline built around their inventory management, not customer service life cycles. A 3-year-old Char-Broil pellet smoker has a meaningful chance of having no available replacement components within 2 years of purchase. Number 3. Dyna-Glo smokers. Dyna-Glo does not have a dedicated engineering team for smokers. Dyna-Glo has a parent company that produces identical internal components for a dozen different brands and decides which logo to stamp on the housing each quarter. The Dyna-Glo smoker line uses the same firebox geometry across multiple product categories. An offset smoker, a vertical charcoal smoker, and a propane smoker in the Dyna-Glo catalog share core components, because the parent company manufactures at scale for the lowest possible unit cost, not for category-specific performance. Customer forums document a consistent pattern. Dyna-Glo smokers perform adequately for 6 to 12 cooks. The firebox rust begins at the seams in the first season because the steel gauge and coating specification were set to hit a retail price, not to manage thermal cycling and moisture exposure over multiple years. By month 18, performance has degraded to the point where temperature management requires constant manual correction. Dyna-Glo replacement parts are available for approximately 18 months after purchase. After that, the unit is unrepairable by design. Number 2. Traeger invented the pellet grill. That history is real. The company that exists today has almost no connection to the engineering philosophy that built the original reputation. Traeger went public in August 2021 at a $2 billion valuation. The IPO was not a reward for engineering excellence. It was a bet on brand equity and lifestyle marketing. Wall Street was not buying a smoker company. Wall Street was buying an audience of buyers willing to pay premium prices for a logo. Within 2 years of the IPO, cost-cutting reached the factory floor. The Pro 575 retails at $900, with a bill of materials of approximately $140. A $660 gap is not engineering. It is the cost of maintaining a marketing operation large enough to make $900 feel reasonable for what is inside the box. The auger jams on anything except Traeger-branded pellets. Traeger-branded pellets cost 30% more than comparable alternatives. The warranty voids the moment a competitor's pellets are used. That warranty exclusion is a revenue mechanism, not a product protection measure. The Wi-Fi connectivity crashes. The temperature probes drift. The porcelain coating on the cook grates is applied over carbon steel that begins oxidizing when the coating chips, which happens within the first season on every unit sold. Traeger built a brand worth $2 billion on top of a product worth $140. Every buyer paying $900 is funding the difference. Number 1. Any pellet smoker sold at Walmart. The worst pellet smoker a person can buy does not carry a brand name worth analyzing. Walmart sources pellet smokers under house-adjacent labels, such as Expert Grill, Hyper Tough Adjacents, and rotating private labels that change year to year, from the same Guangdong manufacturing operations that produce units for a dozen other retailers simultaneously. Retail prices run between $150 and $250, while the bill of materials runs between $35 and $50. The firebox steel is 24 gauge, thinner than a standard kitchen appliance panel. The first thermal cycle warps it. By the third cook, the lid no longer seals. By the sixth cook, temperature management is impossible because the gaps in the warped body allow ambient air to enter and exit freely, regardless of vent position. The auger is plastic. The controller is the cheapest PID unit available on the open market. The hopper is bare steel with no powder coating on the interior. Pellets absorb moisture, swell, and jam within one season in any climate with humidity above 40%. Walmart does not stock replacement parts. The product is not designed to be repaired. The product is designed to be replaced, preferably before the buyer realizes the first unit was a waste of money. A pellet smoker sold at Walmart is not a smoker. It is a smoker-shaped object designed to occupy the space where a smoker should be, until the buyer is ready to buy a real one. Before spending $1 on any pellet smoker, ask the manufacturer 2 questions. Ask what gauge steel the cook chamber is, and who actually owns the company. The answers will tell you everything the marketing is designed to hide. If the video saved you from a bad purchase, subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments which pellet smoker you own right now, and has it ever failed you mid-cook?